Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned.
Well, class, it's good to see my favorite students again. Today we're going to be doing some exercises on shifting of the supply and demand curve, okay? One of the things you want to identify when you're shifting a supply or demand curve is what's being shifted. Is it the supply? Is it demand? Or maybe if it's the price, neither one of them. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few examples. Okay, first I'm going to do a supply example. Okay, take a look at this supply worksheet question. Okay, the change in supply is a shift. A change in quantity supplied will be on the curve. Okay, so you got to identify, is this a change in supply in which this whole thing will shift? Or is it a change in quantity supplied, which will be on the curve? And remember, as the price goes up, okay, the quantity demanded or supplied will go up. The quantity supplied will go up when the price goes up. When the price goes down, the quantity supplied will go down, okay? Remember, price will not shift either a supply or demand curve, okay? Only thing that's gonna shift it is one of the 5 shifters. And we'll give you a little bit of an example. All right, the price of cotton has gone up. How will that affect my supply of cotton t-shirts? So right now, I'm talking about cotton t-shirts, okay? My market is cotton t-shirts, okay? To make cotton t-shirts, obviously, I need cotton, okay? So if the price of cotton has gone up, that's gonna affect my bottom line, okay? I'm using the same amount of money to buy cotton as I did before, but now because it's gone up, I'm buying less cotton. And because I'm buying less cotton, I'm able to produce less shirts, okay? So that's gonna affect my supply line, okay? So this is what it used to be, S1, going down. Because cotton has gone up, it's gonna shift it inward. That will be a shift over, followed by your line. This would be S2, okay? It shifted because it's costing more, okay, to make those cotton t-shirts, okay? So that is a change in supply, okay? It's not a change in quantity supplied because that would be on the curve, okay? Okay? So whole idea for a businessman is to make money, okay? As the price goes up for these shirts, I'm gonna produce more because I can, and that's gonna make this line go up. That's what the cost is at. When the price of these shirts are going down, I'm not gonna make as much money, so I'm gonna hold back my produce, and thus quantity is gonna go down, okay? That is changing quantity supplied. It'll go up and down based on price. The shift will come as a change in one of those 5 shifters that we talked about before. And in this case, it's a change in the supply. This is the supply to make those shirts, okay? So it shifted inward because I'm gonna be making less shirts. Okay, let's look at a demand problem here real quick. Okay. Take a look at this demand problem. The price of cheese has risen, okay? How is that gonna affect the demand for macaroni, okay? I'm sure you guys heard of macaroni and cheese, right? To make macaroni, you need the cheese, right? So this is the usual demand for it, okay? As the price goes up, I'm gonna buy less of this macaroni and cheese. As the price goes down, I'll buy more of this macaroni and cheese. But now, guess what? The price of cheese has risen, okay? So am I gonna buy more macaroni and cheese or less macaroni and cheese? I'm listening. Because the price of macaroni, because the price of cheese has gone up, it's an associated item, I'm not gonna buy as much cheese. Because I'm not gonna buy as much cheese, I'm not gonna buy as much macaroni. So I'm gonna shift inward. My demand curve is gonna shift inward. This was my original demand curve before the price of cheese rose. because it's going to be more now, I'm going to buy less of it. And so this demand is going to shift inward, and this will be my D2. Okay. I've identified it as a demand issue. I'm going to demand less of this macaroni because the price of cheese has risen. Not the price of the macaroni, because that would be on the curve itself. Remember, when the price of the macaroni goes up, I'm going to buy less of it. When the price of macaroni goes down, I'm going to buy more of it. This is an associated event. This is cheese. So it's going to shift the whole curve inward. Okay. Now let's take a final look at this one. This time we're going to look at both supply and demand. Okay. This is the market. The market deals with supply and demand. This is the market for jeans. Okay. This is my market for jeans. Okay. When the price of jeans go up, people, because of this demand curve, will buy less jeans. When the price of the jeans go down, people are going to buy more jeans. And the after effect, when the price of jeans are going up, as a producer, I'm going to produce more jeans so I can make more money. So as the price of jeans go up, my supply of jeans will go up. Okay. When that price of jeans go down, I'm going to produce less jeans because I'm not making as much money. I'm not making as much profit. Now, where supply and demand meet, that's that market price. That's the price tag where the supplier makes money and the consumer makes money. That's a good price. Anything above this, I'm making what's called a surplus. I'm making a glut of these jeans, and at this price tag, they're not going to pay for them, so now I'm going to lose money. I'm going to bring this price tag down. If it's below this thing, okay, I'm going to have a minus of jeans, okay? And I'm going to have less. Okay. Now, the market for the jeans. Cloth has become more expensive. Because cloth has become more expensive, what am I going to do? Okay, what will that affect? Will that affect the demand or the supply? The cloth is more expensive, so the supplier is going to be able to make less jeans now because it costs more for them to do it. So that's going to affect the supply. This is the supply graph. It's going to affect the supply. Okay, it's going to shift outward or inward. Because I'm going to be able to make less, it's going to shift inward. Oh, by the way, is 2. The supply shift inward because the cloth, okay? The demand didn't shift, but the supply did. But because this moved over, the price is going to go up and we'll follow the regular demand curve. Because the price has gone up, people are going to want less of it at that price, okay? So identify whether it's demand or supply. What's the determining factor? The reason why this thing shifted is because, hey, cloth is more expensive. And it's affecting the supply, not the demand. Okay? Today you're going to be doing a worksheet going over a couple of different examples, and I want you to identify how the shift will be, whether it's inward, outward, or remain constant. Identify why this graph is shifting, okay? And then check your answers on the worksheet, okay? You're gonna do your answers on the graph, then go and transfer your answers to the online answer key. That's where you're getting your grade from, okay? Again, if you got any questions, you're gonna get with me during my third period conference, or you can email me, all right? Good luck on this.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same